Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you may be on this wild, wacky, and sometimes unhinged planet of ours. And stamp collecting is fun. And for proof, we've got George here in his stamp room, pointing at a stamp. And the usual characters are here. Some flowers. Adolf the mouse. A angry lady, maybe. And she's saying, "Why is the sun in your room, George?" And I don't really know the answer. Nor does George, obviously, but it looks like he's found a stamp. And I think we can all have a smile when we find the stamps that we need to complete collections. And that's what I'm talking about today. Is that not right? Yeah, it is. So let's... Yes, why we need finish. This needs finishing off, so we have what you might call a... I don't know. It's the tweezers anyway. They are on the table. Yes, they are. Right, enough of that nonsense, and we'll have a look at what I want to talk about today, which is the completion of my pre-decimals Queen Elizabeth II stamps. And I know I've done one and I was short of a few, but I'm going to do this one again because the completion is absolutely... Well, it's not absolutely complete. That would take years. But one of every stamp within the... within that, with the help of this book here, Collect British Stamps. So we have all these Wildings to begin from Halfpenny. We'll skip through these because we know these, don't we, from before. But I've got not got every stamp, but I've got an example of these 1952 to 54 Tudor Wildings. Also examples of the watermarks, which I'm not interested in, but did come with the collection that I came upon, as did this. This is not my work, this is somebody else's work. As you can see, it's got writing on it, Tudor writing, and it's got them on card with Great Britain on it. So that's that. We'll have a look at now the sets. Coronation set, I did have these. So that's quite nice, and I've put card by everyone so I know what I was missing. Another watermark that I'm not interested in, a cutout. And these are the castles. That's a pretty nasty one, isn't it? Possibly as I come upon stamps, I will replace them with better examples, maybe. 1955, so we've got the year. Now, I've not got individuals of these, the Jamboree. But what I did was I bought a cover, a first day cover even, first day of issue, August the 1st, 1957, example of the three stamps, so that was quite a nice pickup. Master Neil Endersley. He's older now. Well, he would be... I was born in 58, so he was 1 year... I was... No. Say he was 10 then. So he's... interested in Neil Endersley is still alive and kicking. Empire Commonwealth Games. Set of 3. More to do with the watermarks, which I'm not... you know... Okay, the General Letter Office, set of 2. This one I did not have, and I received this yesterday to complete the collection, so I'm very happy with that. 1660 to 1960. Postal Conference is here. As I said in a previous video, Postal Conference, General Letter Office, they're not the most exciting topics, are they? Post office savings. But they were... of their age, I suppose. 1961, so we've gone quickly, have we not, from the previous 1955 to 1961. And continuing with 61, the Sept, so the Postal Conference, which again is slightly yawn-making. Parliamentary, 1961. productivity year. It's all a little bit. Freedom from hunger. Yeah, okay. Paris Conference, and here Nature Week. So suddenly we're getting into something a little less bureaucratic, a little less official, a little less men in suits. Nature. And then we go into lifeboats, a set of 3. I like that. The Red Cross. So good on British institutions without being particularly governmental. Compac, I'm not quite sure what Compac is. Commonwealth something or other, which again is official. And then we get into Shakespeare, which I may have spelt wrong because that needs an E on the end. And it's a set of 5. These along the same sort of example. You know, the examples here of Shakespeare is on the edge of every one. And then you go to this, the 5th one, which is the Shakespeare Festival. So are they 2 sets in one? Are they 1 set? I don't know. Maybe some of the stockbooks says things can fly out now and again. Okay, Geography Congress. Wow, 1964. I mean, they're quite nice. Again, we're using the Wilding image of the Queen, Her Majesty. Botanical Congress, set of 4. The Forth Road Bridge, which I think was opened then. And Churchill. Shakespeare, by the way, was the first non-royal to appear on a British stamp. Churchill presumably is the second. And probably both of those people would be arguably the greatest Britons. Yeah, so that's quite nice. It's only last week, I think, that I received this. Parliament, the Simon de Montfort Parliament. Simon de Montfort is Leicester. Sally Army, Lister, Joseph Lister. So we're now deep into commemorating people and events and but also festivals like the Arts Festival. So there's 2 arts festivals there, stamps. The Battle of Britain, 1965. Very popular series. Post Office Tower. UNO. United Nations Organisation. International Telecommunications. Rabbie Burns. So the 3rd person to appear. So we have Shakespeare, Churchill, Rabbie Burns, Scots poet. Westminster Abbey. I was short of this one so much that I bought it twice by mistake on eBay. Cost me a couple of quid each time. You get 2 for, you get both for the set. You buy the set and it costs about up to £2 including postage. And I've forgotten I'd already bought it and I bought it again. But I'm happy to have that. And then we got landscapes, the World Cup, set of 3. Like that, not keen on those. British birds, England's victory. I've got a single somewhere, but I've this one is different to that in as much that it's got England winners. Technology, Battle of Hastings, so 1966 and all that, and then 2 of my favourite stamps, particularly this one I love all these 2. Christmas EFTA, not sure what EFTA is, but as you can see there are no gaps in the collection thus far. Wildflowers, set of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Paintings. Would the Blue Boy count as a person on a stamp? Probably, in some case, probably not in others. Sir Francis Chichester, Inventions. necessity is the mother of invention. And then we've got more paintings, Christmas scenes, bridges, votes for women. Again, that's a work of art, I think, so wouldn't count as a person per se. Though some may say that the painting of Robbie Burns may be, it's difficult now to say, is this the next person? Christmas. Then we've got Ships of the Line, set of 6. Again, not individuals, but 2 together as a pair. And then individuals. Concord, set of 3. Into the Machins. So Machins were brought out. I do have a set of Machins, but in another album. I've sort of kept those separate. I may have to transfer them in. And then here, then we definitely do have what you might call, people represented on the British stamp, Alcock and Brown anniversaries. And then we have the Prince of Wales here, King Charles III as he is now, set of 5, cathedrals there. Gandhi appears, 1969, PO Technology. So as you can see, there's no gaps in the collection. A set of Christmas, architecture, anniversaries again, Dickens drawings and his books. And then decimal currency 1970, I think it was 71. And these obviously are post-decimal because they have got P on them. I'm not quite sure why they're there. I didn't have a reason for that. And a set of 3 Commonwealth stamps. Philampia, showing Queen Victoria, penny black. Then we have Christmas stamps, and then the next stamps are decimal P. So possibly these should be going underneath there. I don't know. That is a complete set of them all. Now I've got sort of catch-ups and other stuff to sort out in the stock book. That's quite nice, isn't it? 70. That's lovely, that is. So some nice examples here. Nice sheetlet of pounds. Everyone was a pound then. Glastonbury and the like now worth pennies. Pennies in the pound. Some nice first day covers of Christmas. Season's greetings. Greetings. And more Christmas sheets cancelled. And more. And yeah, what I'm doing here is I'm filling up again the Machins for the pre-decimals, and there are lots of gaps, so that gives me plenty of scope to work on these within the stock book. And there we have it. So, George, very proud of the stamps that he's collecting, and someone's less proud and wants to know why the sun is shining. Well, it's not shining here in Great Britain, GB, UK, Gross Britannia, Wales, the British Isles, Britain. No, sir. It's sort of overcast and a bit, what you might call, misty. Slightly warm for the time of year because it's only February and the mists are sort of rising from the dampness. So this time the lady does not have her shoes and George does. Or are they socks? Well, I'll let you read that. All is well in the world. Stamp collecting is fun, and there's the proof of it. There we have it. Talk to you next time. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Put up your videos. Let me know where you're watching from. Thanks to everyone who comments and gives me a thumbs up or gives me a like. And to everyone who manages to get to the end. I know they can be a bit lengthy. 15 minutes, 2 seconds, I'm gone.